to when Tommy was a child, who's all grown up now and ready to portray the character of Crowds. Who knows? Yeah, come on down, relax. Very cool. And from Power Rangers Dino Thunder, we have the one and only Parazzo. Thank you so much. It's good to have you all here. And from the amazing Power Rangers Wild Force, she is fierce, powerful, and amazing. Please give it up for Alyssa and Rita. Very cool. And from Power Rangers Dino Charge, she was an amazing mentor, an amazing ranger, and all around is a pretty cool person as far as I know. Please welcome Blackwelder. Thank you all for coming here to Rangerstop. Where's everybody from? Michael, where are you from? How far did you travel for this?
I was born and raised in Southern California. I still live there. I live in Orange County, about 20 minutes from Disneyland.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So you have to fly over here to be 20 minutes from Disney World. So
that's right.
You feel right at home with Disney.
Yes. Excellent.
How about you, Jeff? Where are you at these days? Canada. Very cool.
Toronto,
Home of the Blue Jays.
2 hours north of us.
Almost. Yeah, there it is.
I guess I've been working.
Michael, are we neighbors? Michael, neighbors.
Oh, thanks.
Can I do a repeat?
Yes.
You guys heard, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm from California as well, Orange County, and I think we might be neighbors. I live everywhere.
Yes, I do. Move around when you can. How about you, Claire? Where are you coming from these days?
These days I'm based in New York, so that's where I'm coming from today. I have a lot of other places I've lived in the past.
Very cool. Now, I'm glad you guys came in today. As you can see around you, it's like, oh, we were not on the show together. Obviously, it's a little unique to have different people from different Ranger generations. So we're going to take some audience questions, but I wanted to talk one or two questions to each of you. First, just about your era on the show. And Mike, yours, of course, being the most unique as a young kid. Your memories may not even be firsthand at this point, is that right? I mean, you might have those core memories, but it's all looking back, perhaps.
Oh, yeah. No, I have a lot of memories from the show. I was 11 my first season, and then 12 the next season, and but certainly remember a lot from the show because it was such a great time.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite memory that sticks out to you right off the bat?
Oh yeah. So it was my last day of filming. We're walking to the car, and Jason David Frank is walking with me and saying goodbye, and he just out of the blue takes off his communicator and hands it to me and says, "Here you go, I want you to have this." I was like, he had filming still to do. I said, "But don't you need it?" And he was like, "I'll just tell props I lost it." So I was like, wow, thank you. I take a look and I look closer. And at that point he was the White Ranger, but under the white paint was his original green. So I have his original green communicator. So I'll cherish that forever.
That's amazing. Were you a fan of the show, watching it in the first season before you got the role?
I actually hadn't even seen the show when I got the part.
Okay.
I didn't know about it. When my dad said we were trying out, we were auditioning for a show called Power Rangers, I thought it was a Western. Because it was the word Ranger. So, yeah, hadn't even seen the show when I got the part.
Well, that's all right. Then you came fresh. That's neat.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, you also playing the White Ranger several years later down the line than that. I think a decade later, in 2004, with again Jason Frank, though. Yeah. This time you get to be the evil Ranger, and you come in, and then you need to have a microphone. That's even better. So, what were some, obviously there were a lot. If there was one very specific takeaway that you could say, this is my observation of 2004 when we filmed this, what would that memory be?
Auckland, New Zealand.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Any chance you get at living out your dream, no matter what it is. For me, it was being able to act and hop on a plane and fly across the world. So that's what I said, Auckland, New Zealand.
That makes perfect sense.
Power Rangers, like, it was just I couldn't even wrap my head around it until we were like 3/4 of the way done.
Yeah, and then you
And they're like, whoa, okay, this is what we're doing.
Well, that's awesome. Jessica from Power Rangers Wild Force. Let's give her a hand first of all. Very lovely to see you here. You were on in a specifically unique spot too, as the last group to film in California. So I was wondering kind of the finality of all of that generation of Power Rangers sort of fell with you and the rest of the crew, and I was wondering if you could share any memories from the end of the Power Rangers. Not specifically that episode, but just anywhere in the franchise.
You know, because we only, you're on camera. We were there for our season, but everybody else who was working behind the scenes was there since the beginning. And you could just feel the heaviness and the sadness of the ending for them. And yes, it was the end for us, but really for them, it was kind of depressing, really. So it was very sad. We had an amazing wrap party because they invited everybody, who had worked on the show from the beginning, and it was wonderful to meet everybody and just celebrate, those first 10 seasons, I guess. And then it was going to be going away, and no one really knew what was going to happen with it. So everything was kind of up in the air, and it was wonderful to be part of that.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Claire, good to see you. Claire Blackwelder, everybody. How has it been 10 years since that was on at this point? That's pretty
Yeah, I can't even. How do I answer that?
And how, but see, and that show was pretty cool. You got to play the mentor character over the others, despite being pretty much the same age as everybody.
Younger
But,
than most.
no, I was going to say that's why you had to be authoritative. You're like, it's Miss Morgan,
Exactly.
because you need something with these guys, right? I want to say the same sort of question. Do you have an absolute favorite moment that stands out of something? It can be with any person or thing. It might be different.
I think one of my favorite moments was, strangely, the Halloween episode from the second season from Supercharged. Everyone always talks about the first season, and I made such a stink about the costume they gave me for the Halloween episode for the first season. I was like, I can't walk in these shoes, this dress is too short, I'm not into it, let's switch it up. And they said, okay, heard. And they made me a musketeer with a mustache and a goatee and a big old hat and like balloon pants and the whole deal, and you better believe I'm talking like Shakespeare all day. And, I had the best time, and Dobby, who played the Ivan in Xandar, sort of always spoke in this very like high addiction, like kind of like, oh yes, darling. It was very like put on, and the whole entire day we were just like never broke character one single time. We're walking around the set on location, just like, well, could we find the victuals, please? It was just it was great. So that's one of my favorites for sure. I didn't get to do that a lot.
That's cool. That's perfect. And ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Katherine. Ranger, Zeo, Ranger 1, and even the Pink Turbo Ranger. Very awesome having you with us, as it always is. Going back, you were, of course, the second Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger on the show, but unlike some of the other characters, they actually got to write you in and write Amy off the show, which didn't happen the first time around. And when you first came into the show, do you have any specific memories of that, and how were you welcomed on the set, things like that? Yeah, what was it like to get started?
Amy's really the only one.
It might not be, there's a little switch on there. There it is.
Testing. Yes. Amy was very fortunate because she was the only one that really got a nice send off. Even Jason Frank didn't get a nice send off. So it was a really nice that she got to have like a story, and so I think I've shared before. I didn't know I was replacing her. I thought it was an addition to the cast. I found that out once I got to America, and I realized, oh, I'm replacing somebody here. So I was very sensitive to the fact that this was her territory and her family, and so I was a little nervous about that, but they really welcomed me. Everybody became my family. It became my family. I was on the other side of the world, you know. So I didn't have any weird, like, you know, everyone was very kind. So it was really good. And it was nerve-wracking when I found out how popular the show was, and I found that out at the premiere of the movie. They were like rock stars, you know. And I'm like, oh, this is not just a kids show.
Something that your life might change with. That's
Yeah,
great. But that's got to be unique and awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks
yeah.
for sharing that
Thank
with
you.
us. Now, friends, we've got different generations of different teams, so I expect some questions from a whole bunch of different eras. Ooh, I already see a Red Ranger with his hand up, so I'm going to bring this on back here and see what kind of fun question that we might
His
have.
costumes.
It's a great
epic.
suit.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see you guys and Jessica, Jeff. It's an honor to meet you two specifically because you two are two of my favorite Rangers ever. Thank you. Okay, I always feel I have to ask this every single time I see a Power Rangers actor, but did you guys watch your Sentai counterparts?
I did, and he was much better.
I was about to say,
I
how
mean,
did
that
you feel
storyline was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I was about to say, how did you feel that your Sentai counterpart, Abari Killer, he was basically a villain for like 95% of the show, and it wasn't until like the last quarter of the show he joined.
He's the reason I'm here. It's nothing I did.
I did not watch my Sentai counterpart. I actually had never seen an episode of Power Rangers until our first season, or our first episode aired. Don't listen to Jeff. I don't think he's on, but.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
There we go, right here, my friend.
Hello, this is open to anyone. Have you guys had a chance to check out Power Rangers Fortnite?
I don't like Fortnite because my son played it too much.
I have an 11-year-old
I love the costumes are so cool, and the Megazord. Someone was just explaining to me how you get the Megazord and all that, so it's very cool to be part of such an epic game.
Sorry, Kat. I have an 11-year-old who's all into it, and he has all the things for the white and green Rangers.
Yeah.
He came to me and he's like, "Daddy, I got him. Look, take a look." And
So cool.
he plays it all the time. Probably too often.
Question for you, Michael. I have one. When you were cast the very first time, or when you in season 2, you had that putty fight with the other young actors. I would imagine that being under the age of 18, there are more rules and regulations going on in the set. What was the choreography like during that, if you recall?
Yeah, I don't think Power Rangers had any rules at that time because they asked me to choreograph the fight scene.
Really?
And I was 11,
Yeah.
and I knew martial arts, so they said, "Here's the stunt guy, figure something out. We just need you to like take him down." So
Wow.
yeah, I
Well,
choreographed
you
with him and we had fun, and then they said cut, and I had to go do a few hours of school because I was 11.
Yeah, this one's for Claire, since we asked Katherine. What was your response when you were told you were going to be the Purple Ranger, or was that something that you were told, like, when you were cast?
Yeah, good question. I knew from the beginning that I was going to end up being the Purple Ranger eventually. So it was the hardest secret I've had to keep probably ever because I had to keep it for, well over a year. So when I was plucked out of college, I finished school while we were filming, and I couldn't tell any of my friends why I was leaving school. I was like, I'm going to go film something. And they're like, what? It's like, so it was very difficult. But I did know. I went to Morphicon when they announced my cast. I had not been announced at all yet, and I stood in the back of the hall when they were announcing, and I watched all my castmates come on stage, and everyone's cheering, and I'm there like, yeah! And no one had any idea that I was in the audience, which was so fun. And of course, doing San Diego Comic-Con, when our show had been airing, but I was only the mentor, Yoshi liked to make jokes in every single interview we ever did. When, he'd be like, and then eventually there's going to be another Ranger, someday, I don't know, and would drop the hand all the time. So I already knew it was very hard to keep the secret, but when it actually happened, it was this mixture of excitement and just relief that I didn't have to make up stories anymore about why that would never happen.
Yeah, that's why Dino Charge Season 1 has one of the most epic moments, because you get to become a ranger.
Well, thank you. It was so fun to film. I mean, so fun.
So my question is, when you were on set, you had a lot of really cool props and costumes and stuff. And when you left, were you able to take anything with you, either with permission or without permission?
With permission, I took my own communicator as well, so I had, that one doesn't fit around the wrist, it's too small. So I have my original communicator and JDS communication.
I have my communicator. I had a barrette. It's really exciting. And then I do have like a lot of photos and pictures and things like that, but no costume pieces. But when Jason Frank went back for Megaforce, the 20th, was that
Yep.
the 20th? Yep. He sent me a picture of him in my turbo suit, and he said, "Happy birthday," and I'm like, what? And don't ever send me anything like that again. But he took one of my suits. So when we went back for Ninja Steel, they had everything on lockdown because Jason was little helping himself to some things. But I do have my turbo suit. It's very deteriorated now, but it's a nice memory I have with him. Crazy.
I have my curl foam, my civilian clothes, so the vest, the top skirt, I just found the socks in my sock coat, and the shoes. And I was given my spandex, so I have that, and you may have seen me wear it at various cons because it still fits.
You're so lucky. And she has 3 kids.
And yeah, I think I actually know, since they were moving to New Zealand, they were giving away a lot of wardrobe, and I have some various costumes from other seasons. I don't even know what they belong to or anything like that, but they're at my parents' house in the closet.
Yeah, there were a lot of suits. So, funny story. I don't know if you heard this. About a month before shooting ended, I went to the costume department. It was just a trailer in the back, and there was like 20 suits each. And I went to go. I stepped up into the trailer and I moved my suit because I was gonna just try it on. And Jason was like crouched down, jamming his black suit in his and I caught him. And when he caught me, he looked up, and I looked down. He was like, "Are you here for your suit?" I am. So he's like, "Well, hurry up before someone comes." So now me and Jason are stuffing our suits in bags. We hear footsteps, and it's Kevin, the alien. He's coming up, and then he looks at both of us. I know this is a story. I'm sorry. He looks at both of us. We looked at him. No one said a word. And he just stepped backwards out of the trailer. And me and Jason looked at each other and we're just like, fools. We should have done it. It was a bar. It was a bar. It was on loan.
I have a question for all of you. Did you actually train to fight, and how was it like doing the stunts?
Yes, we did train to fight. We worked with a stunt team, the best stunt team ever. They're so talented, so just like assiduous and humble simultaneously. They work so hard. And they gave us like a month of fight training before we started filming, which was so cool. We got to work with our actual stunt double, and they got to learn sort of how we move. We got to learn how they move, so it could be this very fluid, seamless integration of the two bodies. It was very, very cool. And a lot of us loved it so much we kept doing it after we finished filming. It was really fun.
That's good, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you have more you want to say? Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
So have you guys watched Jeopardy before or recently, anybody?
Oh, I know Jeopardy.
So there was a recent clue earlier this month, and here's the clue. Color-coded teen superheroes, a giant megazord. Thanks to streaming, new fans are keeping this 90s kid show alive and karate kicking. We're the Power Rangers, and they got it right. So, what's your reaction seeing that now a Power Rangers clue got to be on Jeopardy?
That's pretty cool. Pretty awesome. It's just, we all just feel so honored to be a part of this franchise, and it's so crazy that it's been 31 years now. Like, it just feels like, I remember doing my first convention in 2009, and I didn't know why they were contacting me. I didn't know what a convention was. I didn't know what show that they were talking about. And I remember just coming to, it was at Anime Expo in LA, and there was like lines of people to meet us, and I remember thinking, this is bizarre. And now here we are, all these years later, and you guys still show up for us, and it means so much to you, and we hear all these amazing stories. It's just, and then saying like Jeopardy, it was on Friends. When I was on the show, the Friends cast were talking about Power Rangers, so it's become this pop culture phenomenon, So it's very cool for us to be a part of something like that.
So just wondering for each of you, what's your favorite Zord from your season, and what's your favorite Zord from if you've ever seen any other seasons of the show, of Power Rangers?
I liked my flying Zord.
Your flying Zord?
I don't know the name of it.
Drago Zord.
Okay, does anyone know what it was?
Yes, I do. The white Drago Zord.
Which is what
Pterodactyl, like a pterodactyl type of creature.
Was it a pterodactyl?
Or something.
Yeah,
Like
it was a pterodactyl. So.
You had a pterodactyl too?
I had like 4, 3.
No, two. Stegazord.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
You stole a bunch. Yeah, you stole a bunch.
I liked the Shogun Zord.
Yeah.
And I loved the Falcon Zord. I thought that was really cool. And I got to pilot that with Tony, so that was fun. Any of the flying ones, the crane, pterodactyl, all of those were cool. What was yours?
Mine was a plesiosaur.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's the
She could fly and swim. She's a Loch Ness monster who can get up in the air.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And just
And I got to pilot.
You were a tiger. Tiger, elephant, and
you were an elephant.
deer.
Oh, wow.
And at the end, I got a rat.
I don't like that.
I got to look up into the sky and go,
Rat Zord.
you can go back and watch it.
Rat Zord.
That's wild.
But I mean, rats are kind of scary. So
They are. I hate rats.
I live in New York. You're getting here everywhere.
They're like the size of cats in New York.
Yes. Have you ever seen a rat king? Yeah, have you seen a rat king? Nobody? Rat king? The rat king is the one that eats the rest of the rats.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
that's terrible.
It looks like a possum.
They got cannibal rats in New York, is that what they're saying?
Oh yes. Yes, they do.
And they're afraid of them.
What?
Yeah.
Just when we thought rats were bad enough. Oh, thank you.
Good to see all of you guys again. Good to see all of you, the stand of the man. So, my question is for all of you. What was your reaction when you found out that you got the role in Power Rangers?
Thank God. Thank God I'm working actor.
How many auditions did you guys all have?
2.
Two?
Just one main one and a callback. With
Yeah.
Same.
I think I had 7.
Yeah, I feel like the casting was like a long process for. I had 3, but I know Karen and Steve, they went through like so many different versions.
Was
Yeah,
Doug
but rest of
Sloan
my
yours
cast-
too?
Huh?
Was Doug Sloan on yours? He was, right?
Doug Sloan? Yeah.
He came to the callback and just, our callback was like,
Oh,
would you like
really?
living in Auckland?
Oh, really?
That was it.
Wow.
Wow, they made me dance with no music.
They made me run across a parking lot. Can you run? I was like,
rather run than dance
it was very
With no
odd.
music.
We all just just like moved from the casting room down to a parking lot, and they were like, one by one, go. And I just ran.
Good catch.
And I was like, yes! My favorite part.
When I auditioned, originally, I was auditioning for young Adam. Because the picture they had of me, I had short hair, but I showed up with my Tommy cut, the ponytail, the hair, and they switched me on the spot to read for Tommy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. You really did look like him as a little kid, though. It was a really good match. Yeah. So cute.
So, question for Jeff. When you had the episode where you were fighting your evil self or whatever that thing was, how did you feel about that?
Do you want the truth or do you want a lie? It was amazing. I loved fighting myself. It all felt so real. The truth was I was very sick that day. And I was being spoiled actor Brad. That's the truth. I was complaining. I was sick. I had to walk through a river, and then I had to fight myself. It was fun. So choose to tell whichever story you'd like.
There's little truth in all of it. The truth is in the middle, okay?
So if for some silly reason all your characters had to fight each other, who would win?
Jeff.
Who do you think would win? Which of them do you think?
I vote Claire.
Trent? Oh, yeah.
It would be.
Tommy.
I mean, I had to spar with the guy rangers, and I always won. I definitely can beat Jeff.
I will say I made every single gadget, so I got science on my side.
It wasn't easy. All right, we'll go right there. This is fun. Think about it. Okay. Here you go.
Okay, first of all, it's great to see all of you here, though. This is a question, at least from Kat all the way to Jeff. What was like your favorite episode you ever filmed working on your seasons? And if you watched any of their seasons past the ones you worked on, what was your favorite episode on them? And that goes for Michael too.
I have a few. I loved Different Shade of Pink when I was becoming the Pink Ranger. I loved that whole story arc. But my favorite episode was probably in Turbo, and it was called Wait and See. And hi, welcome. And it was when Kat was struggling with her self-esteem, and I just really liked the moral message of that because I was a dancer, and a lot of girls in my ballet have eating disorders and things like that. So I just really liked the message that it's what's on the inside that matters more than what's on the outside. And I got to float, a spell was cast on me where I was floating around everywhere, so I got to do wire work and stuff. It was really fun. Yeah, just thrown around. It was so fun. Yeah.
I think my favorite episode, it's kind of a cop-out, but was the finale of our series. Largely just because we had so many Rangers, and it was one of the few opportunities that we had to get everyone in the same place. And there was this great shot of all of us just descending upon the museum, running everyone all together. And it was not only all the actors, but it was the whole stunt team was there, the local stunt doubles and our Japanese stunt team, just the whole entire team. And personally, I worked a lot in the Ranger base, so I never really got to be out in the world with people. And just seeing the collaboration of everyone all together was amazing. Yeah, it was really cool.
I loved A Father's Footsteps, which was my character's focus episode. I related to it a lot because my character was her parents wanted her to stay and work for the family business, but she wanted to go to college and learn about science, and they were really against that. And then she had to fight her father to be able to go to college. And in my real life, I was actually getting my graduate degree when I booked the Power Rangers, and I had to tell my parents that I was going to take a leave of absence to become a Power Ranger. And my mom was like,
you're like stopping school to be a cartoon character? Like, she did not understand what, I mean, because I didn't grow up watching the Power Rangers, and she was really disappointed in me. It was a very hard decision. I actually almost turned the show down because I was so afraid of disappointing my parents. And then, you know, when the first episode aired, I went to my parents' house and watched it with my mom, and she cried tears of joy. She was so proud and happy, and she was my biggest fan. I would go to her office, and she had all my action figures, and you know, she said that doctors and nurses would come into her office, and she would be like, "This is my daughter," and they had no idea what she was talking about. She's like pointing at a toy. "This is my daughter." She was so proud, and yeah, so that episode, I just really related to it. I'm not sure if the writers kind of took that from my own story because they did know my situation, but it was really fun, and I loved it. I loved all the fighting that I got to do also.
I like the White Thunder trilogy because I selfishly got like a 3-part mini movie within the season. But I didn't know what I was doing. I was still figuring it out. So my favorite episode was Burning Up Both Guns because I finally felt like I knew what I was doing with the character. So, there you go.
Mine, I have a couple. The first would probably be the Zeo quest, where I go back to his Native American heritage and end up finding the Zeo crystal that makes him the Red Zeo Ranger for the next season. But also the water park episode, because as a 12-year-old, it was awesome to film a bunch of times going down the slides.
My question is, if you could be any other ranger, any color from any season, who would you be?
I love Vita from Mystic Force's costume with the cape. It's so awesome. I made the throw the cape. It's like, oh, that's epic. And she's just a really cool character. Before that, I would have said Jen from Time Force. So they're my 2 favorite female rangers.
I would be any pink ranger because I'm tired of people saying, "Are you pink or white?" I love your costume. I love my costume too, and my costume had a lot of pink, and my civilian clothes had a lot of pink, but I just tell them I'm pink and white and all the things.
Any 6th Ranger.
Yeah.
I really don't know. That's the answer. That's who I would be.
Since I came in as the young White Ranger, maybe playing the young Green Ranger a little bit.
I have another question for all of you. When you went in the Megazord, was it like a green screen, or did they actually build it and
They built the inside of it. Kind of true.
Yeah, we were on an actual set that was the inside of like what they called the cockpit of the Megazord. So we had things we would stand on in there, and there was a whole built set. And the stuff on the outside of it, that was, you know, afterwards. They added effects afterwards. But we got to be in this, you know, move a little bit. They'd tell us, or maybe it didn't move, I can't remember now. I think we had to pretend. They'd say like, "Now you're moving," and you're like, "Oh." We did a lot of explosion practice in fight training. They'd say explosion, and we'd have to jump and fall really hard.
You got practice. We didn't get practice. There's so many injuries. So we were like the cheap version.
do you actually sit and use the swords and maybe move around in it?
You could totally move around in it, yeah. A lot of the time it was the stunt doubles that were in the cockpit, but sometimes we were in there ourselves and we could do stuff.
When you if you get hurt, sometimes the Rangers fly out of the Megazord. How does that happen?
How do we get hurt?
No,
Or what do we do?
are you attached to a string
That's a really
Or
good
are you
question.
on like land on a mat? Or did you actually fall and land on like a really soft mat? Like,
Yeah.
She's-
So we had the stunt team and then we had us. So often what would happen is the stuff that would involve maybe actually injuring yourself, that was done by professionals. We had a whole professional stunt team. They're really good at falling in a safe way. So they were the ones that did the beginning of the big fall move, and you'd see them soar through the air, and there were mats available for them too, but sometimes they would actually tumble down the stairs. We would actually fall onto the ground. And it was stuff that was really painful. And then we got to come in and do the end of the roll. You know, I'd like finish a barrel roll and be like, oh God, that hurt. Yeah, of course, flip the hair.
Because you like can't really see when like they're small. When
Yeah, you
they
can't see their
fly.
face, exactly.
So it's just different people, and then when you actually like fall, you go in.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the genius of editing and of a really powerful stunt team. But it's a lot of moving parts. You're so right. We have to really think about the specifics of it. Maybe you should be a stunt coordinator.
Let's see, you have one right there, right?
My question's for Katherine. I heard a similar story from Johnny and Bosch about how fans would, I guess, come up to you guys asking for autographs, thinking that you were the original characters. Did you ever have that issue with Kimberly's case?
No, we look completely different. But oftentimes fans will come up and ask, like, which are you the first or the second? Like, so it happens sometimes, but because we look so different, I don't deal with that as much. Yeah, Johnny and Walter are completely different. So now I think about it, I'm like, you know, sometimes people go, wait a second. Okay. But it happens sometimes with colors, like Karen and Nakia get confused and they look completely different, but it's because of the color, so people just get a little confused sometimes by that, I think. Yeah, good question, thank you.
Hey everybody, this is for Claire. I was just curious, what do you think Kendall's backstory, what her deal was? Because she was super young, but she was also in charge of an entire museum. And do you think she had a doctorate? It's like, I think she had a doctorate, right? Like,
She went back and got her doctorate afterwards, but I think that while she was at the museum, she was working towards it, and it was sort of like one of those, this is, my personal invention, but no one told me that this is true, I just assume. I think that she was one of those things where your employment pays for your studies, and so she was running the museum while going to school and also leading the team, and then she gets her PhD.
That's awesome. Are anybody else on this side? Oh yeah, right there. That's all good. That's a great question. Go.
Okay, so I have these a few. I'll start with this first one. Kat and Jessica, you worked with the great Koichi Sakamoto, who was your stunt coordinator, also directed some of your episodes. What was it like when he was coordinating your stunts compared to him, like, directing your performances, though, on set?
Koichi was incredible.
I loved him.
Oh my gosh, he was so amazing. And he was very, he was very good at explaining what he wanted from you, and he was very good at watching the way your bodies moved so that he could coordinate fight scenes to look like my character was very balletic, and if you watch some of my fight scenes, they're very graceful and like dancerish, because that's what worked. He would make me do spins and high kicks, because that's what I was good at. I was not a martial artist. And he was just a really kind person. Loved him.
Koichi's wife was actually my stunt double.
Oh, really?
Mostly in my regular clothes, but it was great, and he always knew that I wanted to try to do the fight scene, but that his wife could do it way better. So he would always let me try, and then I would walk off set and watch her doing it.
Some good fights, though.
Yeah, I had some really good fights, but she was, obviously trained and way better than me, but he was very, very kind in that way, where he would allow me to at least try and sort of make a fool out of myself, and then, do it better.
Okay, so this is now for, like, all of you. The Unmore fight's one of those pirate things on Power Rangers, knowing you guys will, like, fight the grunts first. Only Morphin things get worse, like the more grunts come in, you can kill them fast, our monster comes in, then you morph. I was like, doing those more fights though, before they got swept over for your stunt performers in the suits? Like, was it hard trying to like make sure you don't actually hit someone while filming those stunts, or you knew not to hit them though because the performers can react? They'll a punch coming, they'll fall down obviously by faking it. So how does that work?
It's really fun. It was hard, obviously, I had never really done any fight training before we got the training, before we started filming. But mostly really fun, just because we were working with professionals, and I would get very afraid that I was going to hurt someone, and the stunt actor that I was working with would be like, no, it's okay. I'll tell you if it's too much, because I'm a professional, and I know what I can take, and I know what's going to read, and it's all about getting the end result. So it was mostly just really fun. I mean, challenging, yes, but I always really looked forward to being on second unit where we filmed the fight scenes because it was extremely efficient and extremely impressive to watch, and the coordination was just, I mean, they would move through twice as many pages of the script as we would in half the amount of time. It was just like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, very much so.
All right, so first I want to say to Kat, regarding your other choice for another ranger, no capes.
What's that? No what?
No capes. Edna Mode and The Incredibles.
Oh, there was no cake.
Yes. No cake. I get it.
No capes. And
No capes.
so,
Everyone should have a cake.
but for Claire, obviously with Dino Charge now being set in another dimension, and you have where the dinosaurs are still alive. Sorry for the spoilers.
It's 10 years, man.
But touche. But like, are the dinosaurs living? Is it like a Jurassic World situation where they all just get out?
I think that I like to believe that in this new dimension where the dinosaurs still exist, we've learned how to coexist peacefully, which is something I think we can all do. I think that we've learned how to live all together. And there's been some talk about it becoming a dinosaur zoo. I'm not so sure how I feel about putting dinosaurs in a zoo, personally. I think they need a little more space. I don't know, maybe it's like a really, really large preserve or something. But yeah, I think we figured out how to work together. I don't know, maybe ride a dinosaur to work, but like, that's my take.
My question is for you, Kat. So when you first came on Power Rangers, not only were you evil, but you were a cat.
Yes.
How did you feel about being a
How
cat?
ironic that I was named Kat and I was a cat. I'm sorry, what was the end of the question?
How did you feel about your character, like coming in as like as a cat? I think you were the only one that like turned into an actual animal.
I know.
Well, Ball gets called.
I liked it. It's like Catwoman. And I think it was a really cool way for her to infiltrate the Rangers, like a cute little cat. But it was all Rita's fault. I was really a nice girl, and then Rita got a hold of me and made me evil. So, yeah, I thought it was a very cool storyline. Yeah.
Guys, in all that you've done over the years, both on the show and now in the convention world where we are now, thinking about it, taking it all in, sitting here, talking to us, seeing the audience, what would you tell yourself the day before you started as Pink Ranger and on Dino Charge and down the line? Like, if you could take a piece from that and say, watch out for this, do this, anything.
I think I would tell myself to just enjoy it more and appreciate it more. I think being a 20-year-old kid, I was just so excited to be working, and I didn't really absorb, we didn't really know the impact it was having on you guys. And so I'm grateful now that I get to know that. But if I had have known that then, I think I would have just absorbed it and taken it in more.
Yeah, I mean, very similar. Just enjoy it and also pay attention. There's so much that I don't remember because I was so caught up with trying to do it well and show up the right way. And it was my first job. I was also 20 when I got the job. and I was so afraid of messing up that everything was just so regimented, and I didn't give myself time to actually pay attention. And it was all day to day, and I just can't remember a lot of it now. And I would have, taken the time to note things a little bit more. Yeah.
I would actually agree with both of those sentiments. Even because there were a lot of hard, long days, but even just, appreciating and being grateful for those. And I think I did, but, there were moments where it was like, I'm in a lake and I don't know how to swim. I don't know why I'm in a lake. They keep saying that they'll rescue me if I drown. But not being, mad about that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I think similar to what everyone else has said, but to be grateful, to not be an ass. I say that because I don't know. You do Power Rangers, at least for me. It was a paycheck, and you want to do meaningful work as an actor. You want to do real stuff to affect people, and you realize one day after all these years that the thing that you may have taken for granted was the thing that impacted people most, and that's Power Rangers. So just realize, to be grateful, to realize that you never know what you're going to do and what's going to affect people. So thank you. Thank you for making me feel important.
These are all amazing answers. I echo all of them, but to add something different, I think I would. My dad did a really good job of taking photos. I have albums, and those, capture memories. But it would have been really cool in 1994 to bring a big video camera, because they were huge back then, and maybe interview my castmates and the crew in between takes and stuff like that, and just have video to watch and witness.
Jason and Johnny had so much footage from, they had a little Super 8 camera, and we were always filming little things, and I just wish that footage would show up somewhere. I asked Tammy if she had it, Jason's wife, and she said she couldn't find it. It'd be so great to see, go back and see all that.
See what you have here. So right here.
I just wanted to second what you just said about being, whether you thought your work was meaningful or not, your impact on these people's lives is huge. And we're here from Massachusetts. It's our third event, right? We went to Power Morphin a couple times, and it's like we just talk about it all year long, and you just bring great joy to these people's lives. So thank you.
So besides the colors you're conditioned to like, what is your actual favorite color?
I like blues and greens because it's common colors.
I actually like purple. It's a powerful color. I feel like I say this too much, but when I was a kid, my mom dressed me in purple all the time, and painted my room and hair gold, purple, and she was always like, yeah, you go. And then when I called her and I told her about the gig, she goes, Cub! So my mom calls me Cub, now you know. She goes, what's your color? I know, I guess. She's like, I'm a psychic. Love it.
I like green.
All right.
I'm a sucker for burgundy morning color. Surprise!
Color of the season.
It used to be a shade, but it's really
black.
It's a shade, that's standard. I like black, but I have a big soft spot for burgundy wine colors. Makes me feel, I don't know, makes me feel good.
It's always been blue for me.
I have a question specifically for you, Claire. How do you feel that you're one of the few purple Rangers in Power Rangers? Because purple's not a very common color in Power Rangers, nor is it its Japanese counterpart, Super Sentai.
Honestly, pretty cool. I don't really know if there's any other answer that I could say to that. It feels pretty cool. It does feel kind of lonely sometimes. You know, there aren't a lot of other people that I can be like, oh yeah, partnership, like we're in this together. And I do feel like there was this sort of, I don't know, not that all different colors have like the same or even similar storylines, but I do feel like there's sort of this like, okay, so the red like is the team, and they sort of have like similar struggles or similar expectations, and I didn't really have anyone to look to for that. Between being purple and being a mentor that becomes a ranger, there wasn't really like a guidebook, which was both really freeing and also a little bit intimidating. So, but mostly it just feels cool. Yeah.
Was the Purple Ranger in Sentai female or male?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was cool.
Who else? There he is.
I knew it. We're getting through everybody's questions today. I like that.
Okay, this is just for Katherine only. In Zio, you guys did the whole arm gesture with your Xenonizers. How does it make sure they can click to your arms without you looking at them? Because when I have the toy dogs, they just look at them though, being cheating a little. But for you have to make sure you not look though until they maybe zoom in on them, or for they can just click them in and then just do whatever. How hard is that?
That was a whole thing, trying to get that big thing. So that's why we had effects over it, because we never connected that. I think once maybe. And so they always created an effect to make it look like.
I think I was in the turbo key as well.
Turbo, that was even worse.
Oh.
Stabbing myself. Yeah, so they were like, forget you guys, let's just do an effect. So, yeah. This is not a lot of, like, it was so small, like, come on. That wasn't very nice of them to try and expect that of us, but yeah.
I have another question. Who is your favorite villain that you fought, and like any villain out of all the seasons?
Favorite villain. Mine was Toxica. I think we had a really good, we would banter back and forth, and so I really liked fighting with her.
I think my castmate, Nathan Gaines, who played Razorback, he was pretty cool.
I liked Slotsky because I had a little version of him as a toy, a slot machine. And Mark Richardson, the prop master, was like, one of these days I want to recreate that for you. I was like, whoa, that'd be cool.
I liked Heckle and Snide, mostly because I love Ryan Carter, who played Heckle. Great actor and just great person. We had a lot of fun.
I liked that I got to work with Rita and Zed and Rito and Goldar and all of them, because we didn't really get to fight them. We fought their monsters that Rita created, so it was really fun getting to work with all of them. Isn't the monsters where the writers had to create the craziest storylines with some of those monsters? When you think about it, like, oh my gosh, crazy.
Oh, the little pink ranger. We'll have you go and be our last question, okay, kiddo?
I have something for Claire. When I went to your station, you said that you had to change glasses a lot. Did you go over lots of pressure when they said like, oh, these glasses don't work, try the next one, try the next one, try the next one? Did you go over like lots of pressure, and like was it going like too fast for you, or?
Depends. I mean, sometimes we were towards the end of our day and we were running up against going into overtime and no one wanted to go into overtime, and we had to get this shot right, and I felt really, really prepared and like I could just really knock it out, and they're like, the glasses aren't working! And so then it would be very full of pressure because we'd have to, first of all, I couldn't mess up my hair because they had a very specific hairstyle, so to take the glasses off, you put the glasses back on, would be very careful as I did it, but also do it very fast because we have to go right now, so it was a little bit difficult, but mostly I feel like it was stressful for the hair and makeup and costume people more than it was stressful for me because they had to figure out what was going to look right, and they're getting yelled at by the director of photography who doesn't want to glare, and then the guy who's gaffing who's doing the lights wants to make sure that his light is positioned correctly. So yes, lots of pressure, but I feel like I was mostly just there.
Did they yell at you a lot?
We had a first AD named Hamish who liked to yell, but other than that,
No, they didn't yell at me a lot. They were very, very, very nice to me.
And for all of you, like, it's been my dream to go to Power Ranger conventions, and it's so cool that you're all Power Rangers. It's so cool that you get to work in the film, and I'm just saying, I love you guys, and I love to be a Power Ranger. So.
What was your name?
You are a Power Ranger. What's your name?
Aliana?
Yes, I am.
I feel like you're gonna be a Power Ranger. I do. I feel like the future is acting with you.
You will.
It could happen.
You'll be in
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
I think. You'll be in charge.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being a part of this panel tonight. Oh man, what an awesome time.
That's your cool.